If Rihanna can do it, who am I? Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Keish here, and today we're going to be doing a review on the Eaze Drop Skin Tint by none other than Rihanna herself, Miss Fenty Beauty. So if you want to hear my opinion on the skin tint and see how I achieved this look, keep watching. Okay friends, so we're going to get right into it. As I stated in the intro, today we are going to be talking about the new Fenty Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint. So honestly, this sold out relatively quickly, but I finally got my hands on one and I'm really excited to do the review because you know what? When it gets hotter for me personally, I literally cannot be wearing that thick foundation. I sweat way too much and I just end up looking really cakey and stuff like that. So anything that gives me a lighter, you know, consistency and a lighter application and lets me honestly try that whole just like flawless skin look, I'm obviously down to give a shot. So the Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint does come in 25 shades as opposed to the plethora of shades that the regular foundation from Fenty comes in. But again, it's supposed to be able to be used across different shades, so hopefully that ends up working out. I personally got a 14. That is what I was matched with. The only thing that was weird is the fact that I matched it with two different foundations that I can use, and it gave me two very extreme options. I got 14 and then 18, and I know for a fact the 18 would not match for me, so just be mindful when you are using that shade finder to ensure that you get the right color for you. So as you guys can see, this is the packaging. You know, pretty standard for Fenty. It looks very similar to the other things. And on the back, the description says, light to medium coverage for all skin tones, blends and blurs to instant perfection, light as air. Now, that sounds good to me, okay? So the actual container has this cute little shape to it. You know, just basic. It is definitely frosted. So this is definitely not the color that it is. It's a frosted bottle. It is 32 milliliters, 1.08 fluid ounces, pretty typical for a foundation. So as you guys can see, I do already have my brows and my eyes done, as well as some lashes. Just a little simple look for you guys, a little simple beat. I do not have the Fenty primer, so I'm actually just going to go ahead in with my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. That's what we're going to use today to prime it. I did see that you don't necessarily need to use a primer, but for me personally, it would just make me feel more comfortable. And honestly, I feel like when I use this, it helps control how oily and stuff my skin ends up looking. So I'm going to go ahead and use it under mine. So I have my primer on and we're all ready to go. I did see that you could put this on with your hands apparently. So that's the way that I'm going to put it on because that's the way that we're kind of told to do it. So I'm going to see how that works. I typically do not use my fingers to put on foundation, but if Rihanna can do it, who am I? This is the first time I've tried it, so you're getting my real reaction. So we could just see a little bit. Okay. There's the color. It feels like it looks a little bit light for me if I'm being honest, but we're just gonna see. You guys can see, I'm obviously not happy about it, but I do have blemishes and stuff like that. I know I should really stop, but I was picking my face a little bit, so we'll be able to exactly see how this coverage works too. Because I've heard, and it does say that it's light coverage, light to medium, but I've watched a couple reviews and I'm seeing that it can be actually pretty full coverage. So we're just gonna wait and see what happens. I'm gonna put on a decent amount, and then if I need to top up, then I'll definitely do that. I am so not used to putting on foundation with my fingers, so I'm definitely not loving doing this. So if I'm honest, guys, I will probably switch to a brush because this is low-key struggle city. But at first glance, And I know that it hasn't really set in yet, and I know that it will oxidize and all that stuff, but at first glance, this does seem a little bit light for me. Lighter than the foundation that I guess I would typically wear. I feel like I would go more towards like warmer shades in my foundation. And this is kind of not giving me that. As far as the way that it feels though, it is definitely a very light formula. And it kind of feels like a moisturizer, if I'm being honest. It is definitely very moisturizing, and I like that. I think I'm going to put a little bit more on. This is with, I guess you could say, a first layer. I don't know if I put enough on to even really get coverage all over. With this amount, it definitely is light coverage. I'm going to go in with a brush now. I don't like this. I feel like I'm doing a spotty job with my fingers. So I'm going to wash my fingers and I'm going to go in with a brush. Give me 1 second. Okay, so my hands are all clean now. I'm going to apply a little bit more and then just move it around with a brush instead to see if I like that application a bit better. The brush that I'm using is the one that I typically use for my foundation, or maybe a little bit of foundation that I typically use, but I did wipe it off, so hopefully it's not too much transfer. Definitely buildable, I'll say that much. And I could see why it says that it can kind of go across multiple shades, because I'll insert a picture actually of the model that's wearing my shade. There's a couple models that are wearing the shade 14, and honestly, everybody definitely does have a different skin tone. So I can definitely get it now, because as I'm patting it in more, I feel like it's actually matching me a lot better. Let me just bring some down to my neck as well. Again, super light. Like, it doesn't really feel like I'm wearing much on my face, and I really do like that. Get down to that neck, girl. Okay, so first impressions with just the skin tint on, I'm not mad at that. The more that I worked it into my skin and the more that I definitely like the application with the brush better, but it actually is looking pretty good. So I feel like I'm always low-key throwing shade at these shade finders, but you know what? I'll say it definitely works. When I'm looking in the camera as opposed to looking in my mirror, honestly, I feel like it's actually looking even better in person as opposed to the way that it's reflecting on camera. I'm actually really, really liking this. Okay, Rihanna. Definitely very moisturizing, not feeling dried out, and it's not staying like super wet or anything like that on my face where I feel like I have to fan it to help it dry or anything. It's actually drying down really well. So far, it's a thumbs up for me. I know that you definitely can wear this if, let's say, you know, you just want to throw on a skin tint, maybe some brows, maybe some lashes, and just head out the door. You could wear it by itself. So that's pretty much what it would look like this for me. I'm still going to go ahead and throw on some concealer, maybe a little bit of contour, and, you know, just like see what it would be if I was doing like a moderate B, you know, and then we'll see how it goes. But so far, so good. I would definitely recommend this. And if you wear Maybelline Fit Me Poreless and you're a color 330, the toffee one, this number 14 will definitely match you. So I'll be right back after I put on a couple more things, okay? guys, so I just went ahead and put on some concealer. I set the skin tint. I put on some eyeliner. I put on some lip liner and a little bit of Fenty Gloss Bomb. And this is the final look. I also contoured my cheeks a little bit. Honestly, overall, I would say that I'm super happy with this skin tint. It feels literally like I'm wearing nothing. It meshes so well with the other products that I use because I used so many different types. I used MAC, I used Sephora brand, I used Juvias Placed. I used different things with the skin tint. It still worked really well and it turned out really nice. So overall, as usual, when does Rihanna really ever miss? But I'm a fan of this skin tint. And that is honestly my final thought. I'll definitely be wearing this in the summertime. And honestly, I'm happy I got my hands on it. So that's it for the video, guys. And until next time, as usual, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I love ya. Mwah. See you in the next one.